in my heart. I got joy in my soul. I got joy, joy, joy in my heart. I got joy that overflows. I got joy, joy, joy in my heart. I got joy that overflows. I got joy, joy, joy in my heart. I got joy that overflows. This joy that I have, I said the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world can't take it away. This joy that I have makes me so complete. This joy that I have, I love. This joy, joy, joy that I have, it's in my heart. I got joy, joy, joy in my soul. Joy, joy, joy. Ah, yes, I got joy, joy, joy that overflows. I got joy, and I'm glad about it. And I'm glad about it. And I'm glad about it. Joy that overflows my soul. Said I'm glad about it. Said I'm glad about it. Said I'm glad about the joy that overflows my soul. I got joy, joy, joy in my soul. Joy, joy, joy in my heart. Joy, joy, joy in my mind that overflows. Joy, joy, joy of the Lord. Joy. Hey, I got joy. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I see Maggie that is in the house. Hi, Maggie. So great to see you. So glad you can join us today. Oh, bless you. Well, I'm coughing. Hey, Donalyn. Great to see you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hi, Deborah. Come on in, everybody. So glad to see you guys. It's Stephanie here with my name, Manna, and I have a very, very special treat for you all today. Go ahead and take this time to tag a few people in. Go ahead, if you don't mind, go ahead and give a shout out from what state you're from and where you're from. As more people are tuning in, go ahead and tag a few people. I'm so excited about my very special guest that's here today, that's here to share with us today. We're going to go interview style, and I'm so excited about her expertise and her coming to share about fitness, and she is truly an expert, and she does so many awesome things. Go ahead and tag a few more people in. I'll give you guys a few more seconds. In the meantime, go ahead and say where you're from. We got Oakland, California in the house. All right, Hawkinstown. Who else do we have on the line today? Go ahead and give a shout out of where you're from. Go ahead and tag a few people to come in. So glad you guys are joining us today. We're so excited. So excited that you're here to join us. And our special guest, I'm so excited that she's here to join us. We have Dayton, Ohio in the house. Let's give it up for Dayton. Dayton, Ohio. Anybody else want to share? Go ahead. Who else do we have in the house for Monday Manna today? I'm so excited. Oh, Shaker Heights in the house. All right now. Okay, Nashville. All right, Sister Hale. Bless your bones. So glad we got you guys in the house. I'm excited because we're getting ready to transition, and we're getting ready to bring the one and only Kate Burrell is in the house to share with us. and she is sharing from us today, right here from Ohio. And I'm excited because Kate, she has a background that is very extensive in not only exercise but health, and I'm excited to share that her part of her credentials. She has attended the National Institute of Massotherapy. She also has attended the National Association of Sports Medicine, and she's also has attended the National Council of Strength and Fitness. And she has 6 years of professional experience in being a group fitness coach as well as a personal trainer. You guys, give it up. Let's give Mrs. Kate a wonderful, warm Monday Manna welcome. And I'm excited that she's going to interview with us. Let's go ahead and let's share out. Hey, Kate.
Hello. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
I am honored to be invited. I really appreciate it.
You rock. You rock. Listen, you're out here changing lives and doing some great things. Can you share my audience about the gym that you partner with and what you do, and just share out a few things, and I'm going to ask a few questions, and we're just going to kind of flow tonight.
Yeah,
a conversation.
So I work with Forge Purpose Fitness. They're based out of Monroe Falls, and we are a private location. So one of the benefits of that is you get a lot of one-on-one attention. We know everybody personally. It's a small group, so we keep it private. Going into a lot of those big gyms, it can be really overwhelming. You kind of feel like everybody's staring at you, watching to see what you're doing, or has purpose there that's not really for their fitness. Whereas here we all come together, make this beautiful community, and we're all helping each other along the way and doing it in a very supportive and community-like environment.
You know, I just love the vibe that is at the gym. It feels
it's even
like
better when you walk in the door.
Amen. You know, it's such like a family vibe. It's very encouraging. You know, Kate, I tell you all the time when I go, it feels like my little sanctuary.
Absolutely. A lot of people say that this is where they go to clear their head, get you that little bit of me time. And if you can't take care of yourself, it's kind of hard to take care of other people. So it's one of those things that makes it important. There's nothing selfish about making sure that you are healthy and being able to care for the people around you.
And what would you say like are some of the benefits of people working out consistently and really taking care of their body and their temple? And what are some of the benefits just in all spectrums and all ways that people can get from just working out consistently?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first off, I'm going to start with bone density. About the age of 35, women start to lose bone density. Then we hit menopause, and it just takes this nosedive. So then we get a little bit older even, and we're at the risk of falling because we don't have balance. And then we're breaking hips. And so strength training makes those bones more dense, makes them stronger. Between that, if you're falling and breaking a hip in your 70s, it's kind of downhill from there. So it's taking care of yourself before it gets bad. If we talk about for the mind and for the heart, for that matter, we can look at very scientifically. We can look at hormones and your endorphins. It helps your hormones regulate and go to the right places, the right receptors within your body. We're releasing endorphins. These are the ones that make us happy and make us feel good. So then we come in, we fix our head, we take care of our body at the same time, and then we leave with joy, just like you were singing about, and spread it to other people as well. If we get into cardio, we're talking about our heart health at this point. We're pumping that blood all the way through our body. We're making the heart stronger. We're clearing the way. We can take cholesterol levels down and bring that good cholesterol up. I did mention balance already. It's kind of the fundamental beginning point of our exercise journey. And without balance, where are we? So as we get older, it's one of those things that just naturally goes to the wayside. But with fitness, it gets worked in there. We build that up, and it keeps us stronger and literally on our feet longer in life.
I have a few questions to ask you about the balance piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like I know like a few people that are like in their 70s on the way to 80, and like some of them, they're having issues with their knees. And they've said that, you know, the doctor said like they're they've been out of balance, which is over time caused kind of a wearing and a tearing away of their knees. Some others that I've talked to mention that they've been running into issues with their hip. They've, just tension in bodies, dealing with different, arthritis symptoms in various parts. Would you say any of that can be like somewhat preventative if we're exercising and kind of flexing those muscles and stretching them, and not just the muscles, but those bones? Does it help to strengthen the bone? Because you mentioned like bone density and things
Absolutely,
like that.
yes. Everything is connected. And when it comes to balance, it starts from the ground up. It literally starts with these tiny little movements in your feet, and then it transfers to your ankles, and then to your knees, and then to your hips. And it just goes all the way up every joint in your body and affects everything. And the more we sit, which is very, very common in this country, the more we lose all of those things. The more we lose that mobility, we lose that balance. But even something as simple as getting up and standing on one foot while you're at your computer at work is something that's going to help you along the way.
Wow. And why is it that, like when we sit, because we do it, like you said, we do a lot of that with different jobs and things. Why is it that we lose that ability to remain balanced? Is because we're not training our brain to naturally balance itself by getting up and moving? Or is it a combination of other things too?
So it's a combination of many things. There's these tiny, tiny little muscles, like especially in our feet and around all of our joints, that stabilize those areas. And as they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So if we're just making these little things happen, even if you're just doing a few stretches in the morning, going through something where you're standing on one foot to move here and there, it's going to benefit you in the long run.
That's amazing. Because you know what, I would equate that, to music education, because me being a music person.
Oh, absolutely.
Stuff. But like in terms of, we call it what's called, when you play the piano dexterity, right? And that deals with like the ability to move our fingers and our muscles quickly, right? And stretch out our hands to play different chords and different things.
And you're not even thinking about it.
Right. So like I can just hear, piano teachers in the back of my mind that I've had down through the decades that say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So you'll notice that if you're not constantly doing those skills just for warm-up purposes, right? Or, stretching out your fingers to move them fast, right? It's like an athlete. You kind of can lose certain dexterity. Would you equate it to that too?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So even something as simple as sitting down in a chair and getting back out of it becomes a struggle if it's not something that we're doing regularly.
Yeah, and wow, and like I noticed, and I'm not hating on the old folk at all, because I feel like
not at all, nope.
Because I feel like age is just a number and it's a mentality. Because there's like people who are 100 years old and up doing like senior Olympics and killing it, right?
Absolutely.
Smashing it. But like I noticed that some older people that I watch, when they get up, it's like this very slow movement, and it's almost as if they're in pain before like they get up. Like, can you speak to that? Yeah. And is there preventative things like kind of what we're kind of been talking about tonight to help with that? Because I plan on being like Abraham, who was 120 and was climbing a mountain at 120. Right. I'm not saying I'm going to climb a mountain, but I want to be physically fit when I'm 120. Like, I don't want to be moving slow. I want to move like I'm 20 when I'm 120.
Absolutely. And as long as you keep it moving, that'll happen. And it's never too late either. You can always reverse some things. But so sitting specifically, we're elongating the muscles on your backside. So our glutes are made stretched long, our hamstrings are stretched out. And on the opposite side of the body, the front side, we're shortening all of our hip flexors.
Wow.
So when we're sitting for elongated times, the muscles are being distorted and held in a position that they shouldn't be held in for that long. If we get up and move around, we stretch those out. We take it in the opposite direction of what it's used to being in. So if you are used to being on your feet all day, those toes are spreading out and they're tired of it. So you get a nice foot massage, you take those feet and you fold them in the other direction, and they say, oh, thank goodness, you just relieved this position I've been held in for so long, and it gives it relief. Exercise and stretching is going to do the same thing when it comes to breaking up that pattern, making it useful again, and keeping it moving like it's supposed to.
That's amazing. I want to give a shout out real quick to Teresa, who is streaming in. She works for a radio station all the way in the Detroit area. So welcome, Teresa, to Monday Manna. We're really glad to have you.
I'm a Michigan girl.
Yeah. Hey, what part?
Tecumseh. It's in the southern part of the palm.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that's amazing because like I really like I had asked my dentist because I guess I'm such a thinker. And I guess, as they say, the model for some teachers are you'll be forever a lifelong learner. But I had asked my dentist, I said, you know what? Should I just expect, to just lose all my teeth when I'm old? And they said no. They said there are some people who die with a full set of teeth in their mouth. It's just about taking care of it. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, I'm equating that to working out. Like if we're good stewards over flexing those muscles and moving those muscles that might be still while we're at work, right? Getting blood flow in our body. And, I've read that studies have proven when you work out, you live longer.
Absolutely. Well, bring it back to that cardio, for example. If I'm pumping it through my heart and my heart is used to having that exertion and clearing the way through these veins and vessels, then if something extreme does happen in life, let's say you got to run for your life for some reason, you're not as worried about something happening to your heart because it's already conditioned to keep going. And who would, you never want that to be the situation, but let's say you're watching your grandkid, like it's exhausting. They're 3 years old and they just decide to bolt on you all of a sudden. You got to be ready to run.
That's a really, what you're saying, being ready to run, that's really deep because, I was talking to a friend of mine who is a musician and he's a professional musician. So he tours all around the world to do what he does at a high level. He's awesome. On TV. This is what he does. He plays on records. This is what he does consistently. But me and him, we always have these conversations randomly. But we were talking about in general, just what it takes to just be excellent and how everybody has a different bar for what that means to them. But he brought up a scenario in particular about how there was a guitar player in a particular area that would just show up to stuff. So because they were just available and showed up, they were called to play at certain engagements, right? But he made a mention to when this particular guitar player was asked to play at like a major high level event with audience of thousands and things like that they crumbled. Why? Why did they crumble? They crumbled because they consistently don't play with excellence. They consistently don't stretch out. Like, like what you do, like Kate, what you do it with excellence. You're a trainer with excellence. Like you are amazing. You're encouraging, you're truthful, and it's like your baby. Like you do it with excellence. But he was saying if you can't sustain, in other words, on a local level, if you're going to try to advance to a place and you haven't been sustaining at a high level of excellence this whole time, you're going to crumble when you get to that place. Just kind of like, I'm piggybacking off of what you said, like if you're already working out and there's an emergency, you don't have to worry about your heart. Because you're already physically in that position. You're ready to go, right? As opposed to if you're not already together, you're trying to scramble around at the last minute. And the biblical reference I could think about is those virgins. There was virgins that were ready. They got in position, and there were the other virgins that they were not ready. The other virgins, they went out early, they prepared, they had their oil, they had everything they needed in advance. So when the king was ready to take them to marry him, they were ready to go. But the other virgins, they were lazy, they were foolish, they didn't maximize, taking advantage of being prepared. So they procrastinated. So because they procrastinated, they lost out. So how much more should we just be physically fit? Because we just never know what life may bring. Life can bring life. It can bring some challenges. It's going to bring curveballs sometimes. And why not be in a place to be at our maximum capacity if we can? Like I sing. So every time I get a chance to work out, I love to do that because all it's going to do is expand my lung capacity. Right. Now, am I on Kate's level? Absolutely not. But she's my inspiration and I will be one day. one day.
You just keep coming. You keep coming. You're doing awesome.
You guys listen. I love Kate because first of all, she looks good. She is slim. She is fit. Like her muscles are even toned. You know what I mean? And she's a lady. and she is like that mama bear. When I come in to do, first of all, I really love the group workout sessions. I do, because I don't know, maybe it's the teacher in me, but I like being in a group, like feeling like I'm being supported and I'm supporting other people, kind of like that family vibe. But then here Kate comes in with her really nice shape, and she's physically fit and she's healthy. You guys, and that energy, she brings that A game energy to every class. I love it. You're awesome. You're an inspiration, honey.
Thank
you. You are.
I would also like to explain that hasn't always been my life. I started off with fitness right out of high school and never did organized sports or anything. That was not me. Went a different way for a while, and my body fluctuated all over the place. There were times where I just ate wherever I wanted to. You have a couple of kids, things change. But then something just switched one day that said, you got to take care of yourself. And it helped so much with my depression. I would get the seasonal onset depression, which is huge here in Ohio because it tends to be so gloomy a lot. The exercise really changed that around for me. So in the beginning, it started off with I want to look better. But after time, it progressed past that. It turned into I want a longer life. I want to be able to take care of the people that are around me. And then it turned into I want to share this joy with other people. And how can I do that other than teach it?
Oh, we got Caribbean in the house. I'm stopping to give another shout out. Samantha's in the house all the way from the Caribbean. Hi, Samantha. Thanks for joining us.
Well, come get us.
Kate, what would you have to say to that woman who is a wife and a mom? And, like you said, when you have kids, your body just changes. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I go to the amusement park now, that roller coaster don't feel like it used to before I had my son. Like the organs just moved all over the place like spaghetti, and they just redistributed themselves all across my abdominal area. So, right. What would you say as motivation for maybe that mom that might feel a little discouraged because maybe now she's a wife, now she has all these responsibilities, and she's a mother now, which is a different level of responsibilities. What would you say to that mom who might be battling with trying to find time to work out? Would you maybe express maybe the benefits of just that investment to their health, but their investment to their destiny and their life and their legacy?
Absolutely. Right off the bat, I will say that just because you're a mom doesn't mean you don't have time to do it. You're still Superwoman, regardless of that mom title that you've taken on. So even if you can't make it to a gym, there's so many things you can do at home, so many things you can bring your kids in to do with you. Why do it? One, you're going to be chasing that kid around, so you might as well be able to keep up with them. Two, your kid's going to be getting into some things that they're probably going to need some help with. Maybe they get into some organized sports, and it helps them go a little bit further if you're able to get out there and throw that ball with them or run across that basketball court with them. And the other thing is being able to continue that care. For example, for me personally, my mother had Lou Gehrig's disease, and she slowly watched her body deteriorate to the point that she couldn't even breathe in the end. I had trouble lifting her when she would fall. So she didn't have the strength to walk, and I didn't have the strength to pick her up when she fell on the ground. So as her child, I decided that that's not going to happen again. That if I'm the one who gets this disease too, that I want to keep my body small enough that my family can lift me. That I have cared for my body in the sense that I might last a little bit longer before it deteriorates that quickly. And for that matter, if something like that were to happen to my husband, I want to have the strength to care for him too.
Well, that's powerful stuff. I think sometimes in this day and age, there is this stereotype that women need to just be sacrificed all the time and be that wife, that mom, and not to say that we shouldn't do those things, right? Don't get me wrong, but almost sacrifice to a fault that we leave ourselves last. Can you speak to that and why that's not good for us to do that, and why it is good for us to work out and to invest in ourselves?
Well, it comes down to that one, releasing the hormones and the endorphins, and the happier we are, the better we can care for the people around us, and the more that we're able to get up and keep doing it. And it rubs off on people for that matter too. Why else? I'm sorry, I lost my train there.
Oh no, you're fine. You answered it. You asked. That was fantastic.
Loaded that one up for you.
I know that was fantastic. I mean, it's so many benefits. Like my takeaways tonight are, it's worth investing in ourselves, male or female, whether you're a man or a woman. Everybody has responsibilities. I feel like the older we get as adult, there's a song that Jonathan Reynolds has out that says adulting ain't easy. And meaning that when we become adults, like there's more, we carry on responsibilities. We are working hard to provide for our families, to pay the bills. We're working hard to, make sure our kids don't want for anything, and that our spouses don't want for anything, and that everybody's in their happy place. And it can be easy at times, no matter you're a man or a woman, to lose sight of your own physical health. It can be easy to say, oh, I'm going to just eat the Snickers today. And because, that's grab and go. But can you talk a little bit real quick, like, too, about the importance of, like, we are what we eat? We hear that so much, but like the importance of eating right. And what I've been learning from you guys is that basically you can eat the things you want to eat, but just, you can eat stuff that have a lower caloric intake. So it's a win-win, right? And every now and again, it might be okay to little cheat a little bit, with some things, but taking charge and being intentional about how many calories we consume. I came to find out that you guys, there's like a lot of people who make a lot of different things that I love that are low calories, and it tastes good.
Oh, absolutely. Doesn't have to be gross to be healthy when it comes
yes.
to. So for that matter, I would say if you want that pizza, plan your day around it. So I know I'm going to have pizza tonight. I'm going to make sure that earlier in the day, I'm eating the healthier things, that I leave room for that pizza later. So I'm not going to cut it out. I'm going to plan around it. The biggest thing I can tell us in the community that we're in the state of this country is, unfortunately, the stuff that's most affordable and most ready for us is so processed, so pumped full of all of this and that. Who knows how many people have touched it before it's made it to your plate. The more natural you can get it, the less processed, the better off we're going to be. So eat those raw fruits and vegetables, get your lean proteins in there, and then still have some fun along the way too. I'm a sucker for a brownie. I will plan that into my day.
Yes. And I'm coming to find out through you guys, like you guys have a lot of the products that you guys sell with your with proteins and different supplements that are just absolutely amazing. And I've been learning through the education of what you guys have taught me that protein is everything. Protein, like having the right amount of protein, is great with burning fat and keeping that protein level in our body at a great level is always good for our overall health. Do you want to speak to would you like to speak to any of that? And
yeah, absolutely. So you've got your macros, you got your fats, you've got your carbs, and you've got your proteins. And you need these, and you need them in a balance. I came from an era where everybody goes, cut out your carbs.
Yep.
I did it to a point that it was basically an eating disorder. My vision would cloud over black from the sides, and I would almost pass out. My hair was coming out in gobs. You could see it in my skin. You could see it in my nails. We need all of these things. That's why they're macros. They're important, guys. So we work those in increments throughout the day. And then we try to watch out for some of the other things, like your trans fats, trying to cut those out. So I love fried food, but when you can see it on your walls, I used to fry stuff all the time and I could see it on the wall. That's what's in our veins when we eat that stuff. It's not going anywhere. We added that in there. It's part of you now, and it's not easy to get back out afterwards. So if you treat yourself like a machine, you put the right things in there. You get a nice car, you want to take care of that sucker. You're getting oil changes, you're putting the premium gas in there. Why treat yourself any different?
Oh, that's really good. And
the car, you can't get another body.
You're right about that. We only have one temple, and we only have one shot at this, because once it's gone, it's gone.
Absolutely.
It really is. And would you say that maybe air frying might be a more healthier option for those people who like to fry? It's less oil. Would you say that might be every now and again, maybe a nice little treat?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still going out for some fried food once in a while.
Yeah.
Friday day, so I'm like, yeah, something fried. But just cut it down wherever you can. And even if you're just making one extra good choice each day and building on it from there, it can change your life.
I love that. Well, Kate, this has just been such an amazing experience. I know we're going to meet with my partners who are going to have a couple of Q&As for you on this same link after I dismiss the live. But is there any like thing that you would like to share out kind of as a final takeaway for the audience about eating right and maybe going to invest to get an appointment with a nutritionist and working out? Is there any like last final thoughts that you like to share about any of that and even
Yeah,
the Forge Fitness family?
absolutely. So take care of yourself doesn't end. Just because we start it doesn't mean we stop when we get the results we want. We keep going. It doesn't have to break the bank for you either. There's so many things that you can do, so many different forms of exercise. You've got water aerobics if you have trouble with your joints. You can do mobility flow if you're not somebody that enjoys yoga. You can do spin classes if you really want that extra hard cardio. You can lift those weights and change that body physique, burn those calories, build up that bone density. Pilates, Zumba, all of these things are a wonderful option that are out there for you. But as you mentioned, Forge Purpose, we do group fitness there, small groups,
Yay!
no more than like 14 people. But the energy of doing it with other people who are there for the same reasons, you kind of cheer each other on,
Yeah.
makes you keep going. Nobody's necessarily competitive in there, but it makes you want to try that little bit harder. But then you can also do private fitness training as well, where you get just that coach focused on exactly what your needs are and programming everything right around you. So with Forged Purpose, it's great pricing that he has in there. You've got accountability, you've got coaching, you've got a wonderful community. We do extra fun things outside of the gym, like Stephanie joined us the other day at a park where we by the lake. We hit our core at the same time. So we just try to keep it moving for you. And even if you don't come to visit us at Forged Purpose, find something that fulfills you, makes you happy, and keeps you moving in life.
We had a question from our audience. She says, I've been seeing a lot about the carnivore diet, eating a lot of meat. It is almost like keto. How do you feel about both of these diets, Kate?
I think everything needs a healthy balance in life. So, yes, protein is very important, but you need to be watching the ones that you bring in. When we have too much protein, let's say too much red meat, this can affect your gallbladder.
Oh, I
So
didn't know
that's
that.
one to just kind of be careful of there. Yeah, I'm watching somebody deal with that currently. Too much liver. I don't know who eats liver anymore, but that causes things like gout. And as I was saying, I cut out so many carbs that I was pretty much carnivorous and it was causing hair loss. My nails were brittle. Um, Again, the vision thing, the lack of energy. Your body needs carbs, even in the brain, for regular function. So I would say stay more balanced, still focus on getting a good amount of protein in there, but you still need those carbs and you need those fresh vegetables and fruits.
Well, and you know what? It's interesting because I would just say, like, it's amazing. Like, too much of anything isn't good. Like, I've heard of people ironically dying from too much water. Like, wow, like who would think that, But I'm like, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying, it sounds to me that just having a balanced overall diet is really the key, and not just diet, but just a balanced life, getting that workout in, and you know, uh, having those outlets to relieve stress, and it's like it's all interconnected. Like I believe in counseling and all of those things because our overall health is all connected.
Absolutely.
It's
And
all
when I
connected
exercise,
to everything we
it's
do.
not just for the body, but it's for my mind and my spirit as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome, Kate. I really appreciate you coming on. If you could just hold tight for a little bit, I'm just going to make a couple announcements. I'm going to bring my partners on. I'm getting ready to send you all a link as I'm making these announcements simultaneously. And you guys will be able to, if you have any questions for Kate, you'll be able to ask her. For those of you guys who are partners, also my partners and I, we also had another session today. Listen, and it's not too late to become a Monday Manna Covenant partner. If you believe in Monday Manna and what we're doing, and you like to have exclusive access and more content, more question and answer sessions. We've been exploring the School of the Prophets, and we're learning, going deeper in some different things. And we do question and answer sessions. You don't have to hesitate to be a part of that. You can also be a part of that by becoming a partner. And you can become a partner by going to patreon.com. And when you go to patreon.com, you can type in Monday Manna and sign on to become a covenant partner. It's easy to do. It's very simple. And we have a lot of meaningful sessions, and my partners have been learning so much and have a lot of testimonials. Someone today was telling me that, and I had forgot that I had mentioned that this was going to happen. They mentioned, my partner Donalyn mentioned that I had told her that God was going to be able to change some things and give her a new car. And she just told me today, the dealership basically called her and said, hey, we need your current car because somebody else wants that make and model. In exchange for that, we're going to give you a brand new 2024. And we're going to take care of the loan. Like, what? Who does that? I'm like, okay, thank you, Jesus. So, oh, hi, Mark. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you guys. And so it's not too late to do that. And also, if you do not know Jesus as your personal savior, or maybe you would like to rededicate your life to Christ, you can do that. You can just repeat after me if you like. Say, Father, in Jesus' name, forgive me of my sins. I believe you died on the cross. Come into my heart. Be the Lord of my life. Thanks for coming in. If you pray that prayer, inbox me. I have more information to give you. Also, I do want to make a couple more announcements that if you would like to participate in some lessons, you can do so by signing on for some lessons. And also you can, if you are interested in booking one-on-one sessions with me, you can have access to do that as well. And just inbox me. And if you're interested in also some lessons, you can inbox me as well for some music lessons. Okay. Well, listen, we are at our time. Again, I'm going to meet very briefly. My covenant partners, I have provided the StreamYard link. I'm going to end the live, but I want to thank you guys for coming and tuning in for Monday Minute. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next week. Covenant partners, you guys can just click the link, and we'll continue on with Kate for you guys to ask her any questions that you might have. Thank you.